up, you guys? It's Kelsey and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my review of The Good and the Beautiful Language Arts Level K. So this video is actually a collaboration. This is a huge playlist of lots of other subjects. I did one with math that I will link right up here, The Good and the Beautiful Math Level K. And this is actually a collab with The Simple Rugged Path, The Brave Homeschooling Mama, and Joyful Noise Living. So I'm going to leave their links down below in the description box. Make sure to check them out as well as this playlist. So we use the Language Arts Level K, and when you get that, you get this course book, the Level K reader, and these cards. Since my son is 7, we pretty much just stick to reading, math, and writing. So I'm also going to be reviewing this because it really doesn't fall into any of the other subjects that we were going to be doing. So I figured I would just go ahead and put this in as well. And he is working on level 2 of the handwriting. So we actually started out the school year when he was 6 in May of 2018, and we started with My Father's World first grade. We had completed My Father's World kindergarten, and we had started the first grade. In October 2018, we found out that we were moving, and so we ended up taking a month off. We had to sell our house. Maybe it was more like a month and a half. And I had been looking at and praying about and reviewing and everything about The Good and the Beautiful. And a fellow homeschool mama at my son's therapy had showed me the curriculum and talked to me about it. I had watched lots of YouTube videos like this one and just decided that I thought that it would be the best switch. So I'd planned on switching when he got to first grade. And then I kind of found out that this curriculum was a little bit more comprehensive than the other one, and so I decided that I would just go ahead and start it mid-year. So we were about halfway through first grade when we switched to this curriculum. So we are taking a little bit longer because we actually moved again because of health issues. So we are a little bit further behind than I had anticipated. Hopefully we have this curriculum finished by July or August. It seems like we have about 8 weeks left if we stay motivated. So, but we did switch mid-year and it was the best decision that we've ever made, for sure. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the pros of this curriculum. This curriculum is extremely inexpensive. You can get the PDF version or you can get the printed version. I chose to get the printed version, just seemed more open and go that way. So that is what I chose to get, and with it I think I spent about $60. Actually just got the version for level 1 that is going out of print, and it was discounted to $30. So I'm very excited about that. You guys know how much I love getting a good deal. This is a very inexpensive curriculum. The handwriting was about $12.99, I believe. So it's very inexpensive as well. The main thing that I love about this curriculum is that it is literally open and go. With My Father's World, it was unit studies, so everything is integrated into each other. So the science, the math, the Bible curriculum, the language arts is all together. And so if you're struggling in one area, you really have to either kind of speed it up or slow it down. And so obviously if my son was struggling with language arts, we really needed to slow that down. And so he was getting frustrated, I was getting frustrated because he really enjoys math and all of that other stuff. But we had to slow down in order for him to be able to keep going on the curriculum. So what I love about this is that he does have some special needs. So he can have somewhat of an explosive behavior. And so at times he really cannot developmentally, whatever, do language arts for like a week or so. Sometimes his handwriting regresses during a flare-up, and so we kind of have to lay off that. So it's really great that if he is having a really hard time with language arts or something we need to reiterate, or he's doing really well with something. So for instance, sometimes we may have to take a break from language arts, but we can keep going with math and handwriting. That has happened numerous times. So what I really love about this is just its ability to really work at your child's pace. You can pick this book up and it's all very the same. So what I mean by that is A lot of curriculums, maybe you pick and choose from different companies. This one is all the same company, so it's very similar. You know what you're getting into when you have the curriculum and you have the different subjects, but they all work separately. So I just really love that, coming from a unit study to this. Maybe it's not that important to other people, but for us it's super, super important. And also I love about this curriculum is just how thorough it is. When we switched from my father's world to this, my son basically didn't know anything. He had learned so much in kindergarten and half of first grade, but only after a month and a half, he did not remember a lot of what he had learned. And so to me, that meant that he didn't really learn it, right? That just meant that he was kind of memorizing things and all of that. And because my father's world, what we were doing in first grade was we were literally doing the same thing kind of over and over every day. So he would memorize words where they were on certain pages instead of actually learning them. With this curriculum, you are doing the same repetitive thing to learn, but you're doing it in a different way every day. So one day you might be doing like a word ladder, the next day you might be reading a story, another day you might be doing it out of the reader. It's just different every day, but it's still very repetitive to help them learn. Also very thorough in that they are really learning the words. They're not just learning to read them, they're learning to spell them, they're learning to say them out loud. I think my son's spelling has just helped him immensely, because now he can spell it, he can see it, he can hear it, like all of his senses, he can do it, and it has made such a huge difference. I would say for sure that he was a struggling reader when we started this curriculum, and now he is just going above and beyond anything that I imagined. He still has tough days. We are learning the, silent E, long vowels, and that is a little bit confusing for him right now, but he is still doing great, and he will start the week really struggling with his mini books, and by the end of the week he can read it by himself. So I know he's learning, I know he's comprehending it, and I just, total pro from me. Coming up with cons for this curriculum has been extremely tough for me. I tried to come up with one for math and I just could not. And I really can't come up with any for this one either. It is just so hard. I think at first it was hard for me to understand that when you open the book, maybe one page worth is not 1 day's worth. And so I think that that's really important to understand. In the beginning of the book, it kind of talks about, only spend X amount of time, I think it's like 20 minutes, on a lesson. So they have spelling words, they have sight words, they have the little flashcards and all of that, and then you do some of the lesson. And for me, coming from a unit study where you literally have a checklist that you do every single day, it just didn't feel as structured to me, and I didn't really like that at first. But now I have found that that has been really great for us, especially for my son. It's made me more patient and more laid back in my homeschool. I don't feel like we have to get this done today. Like, if he wants to do, some days he can do a little bit more, some days he can't. And so I still feel like we're accomplishing something. It just might not be an entire page. Some days we do an entire page, some days we don't. Some days an entire page takes 3 or 4 days, and that's okay. We are working through it at his pace. So I think if you're coming from a really structured curriculum, this is gonna be a little bit iffy at first, but just keep going, it's going to be okay. So I was about to film another video and I just realized I never talked about the handwriting. So the handwriting in and of itself is pretty simple. It's basically just worksheets with a lot of copy work, but my son really enjoys it because it has a coloring thing at the bottom most of the time where they can draw or color. And so he's really excited because he gets to do it independently, and then he kind of has a goal in the end that he gets to color. So he's really enjoying it, and he is on level 2 and he's about to start level 3 probably in the next couple of weeks because he's almost finished with it. Finally, will I use this curriculum again? Absolutely. I'm definitely going to be using this for my younger child. As I said about the math, I think my son probably could have started this in kindergarten, maybe not. I think the math you can definitely start in kindergarten, but I think this one for my son in particular, I think it's a good thing that he started it in first grade and not in kindergarten, and I think he would have done really well with the pre-K book that they have. So it kind of just depends. My son, before he started kindergarten, he knew letter sounds, the alphabet, all that, but he didn't really know much more than that. So I think that you really have to go at their pace and use the assessment and see what will work for you. But I'm definitely going to be using this for my youngest, just not sure when. And I already ordered my level 1, so I'm excited to start that in the next few months. So that is it for me today, guys. Make sure to check out that playlist and the hosts of this collaboration and the other videos. I know that there's a lot in there, a lot of different subjects. I'm actually a little bit late to the game on this video, but I hope that you found it helpful. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing a video showcasing the Good and the Beautiful Math level 1 soon. So I will see you guys next time. Bye!